You were not falling behind. The game was reset, and almost nobody noticed at first. It just felt like life was getting harder. People started working more, trying harder, doing everything they were told would create stability, yet stability kept drifting further away. This is where most people make the mistake. They assume the problem is personal. They think maybe I am not disciplined enough. Maybe I started too late. Maybe everyone else figured something out. But when millions of people feel behind at the exact same time, that is not a personal failure. That is a structural shift. The rules changed. Quietly, no announcement. No warning, no moment where the world paused and explained that what worked before might stop working. It just happened. Careers became less predictable. Industries started transforming faster. Skills began expiring quicker than anyone expected. You can do everything right and still feel like the ground is moving under you. Years ago, the path looked clearer. Work hard, stay consistent, move up slowly, build a life. It was not perfect, but it was predictable. And predictability is what allowed people to relax into their effort, because effort felt connected to tomorrow. Now effort often just maintains today. You are not always climbing. Sometimes you are just preventing yourself from sliding backward, and that takes more energy than climbing ever did. This is why so many people feel a constant low-level exhaustion, not dramatic burnout, just a quiet mental weight that sleep does not fix, because the human brain handles stress best when it has edges, when we know where the challenge ends. But modern life removed those edges. There is always another shift, another update, another expectation. Nothing locks in. Nothing feels finished, so people push harder, believing more effort will recreate the old certainty. But effort alone cannot stabilize a system that keeps resetting. Imagine playing a game where every time you get close to winning, the rules change. The finish line moves, the map rearranges. Eventually, you stop feeling competitive and start feeling confused. That confusion is what millions of people are carrying right now. Not laziness, not weakness. Disorientation, because success used to be directional. Now it is adaptive. The people doing best are not always the smartest or the hardest working. They are the fastest at adjusting, and adjustment is uncomfortable because it requires letting go of the old map, even if that map once worked perfectly. This is why many capable people feel stuck. They are following instructions written for a world that quietly expired. Get the degree. Stay loyal. Wait your turn. Trust the process. But the process sped up loyalty, shortened timelines, compressed, and waiting your turn only works when the line is not constantly being reorganized. So what do most people do next? Some freeze, repeating the old strategy, hoping stability returns. Others panic, jumping from path to path, never staying long enough to gain traction. But a smaller group does something different. They stop chasing certainty and start building flexibility, because flexibility survives, resets. If the game keeps changing, rigidity becomes risk. The strongest position now is not having one perfect plan. It is becoming someone who can operate inside uncertainty, someone who learns fast, moves when necessary, and adapts without losing direction. The earlier you see the shift, the less damage it causes. The people suffering most are often reacting to yesterday, trying to win a version of life that no longer exists. So, if you feel behind, pause before blaming yourself and ask a better question. Am I actually behind? Or did the environment accelerate? Because those are completely different problems. One requires self-correction, the other requires strategy. Every generation thinks the next one has it easier, but what we are living through is not easier. It is faster, and speed changes everything. Slow systems reward patience. Fast systems reward perception, the ability to notice movement early. Look at careers, housing, technology, even relationships. Acceleration is everywhere, and acceleration creates a powerful illusion that everyone else is keeping up. Social feeds show progress, promotions, milestones, big moves, but they never show the uncertainty behind them. So people compare their internal confusion to someone else's curated stability, and the gap feels enormous. But most people are adapting in real time, just like you. There is another hidden consequence of a reset world. Identity becomes fragile. In the past, you could anchor yourself to one role. Now roles evolve so quickly that tying your identity to a single position creates risk. When the role shifts, it feels like you've lost part of yourself. This is why modern resilience looks different. It is less about endurance and more about separation, understanding that what you do is not the same as who you are. Because when you separate the two, change stops feeling like erasure and starts feeling like movement. So what is the real move now? Stop measuring your life using outdated expectations. Build skills that transfer, protect your adaptability, reduce unnecessary dependencies, and do not interpret uncertainty as failure. Uncertainty is now part of the environment. When you understand this, pressure turns into alertness, comparison turns into observation, and panic turns into play. Strategy. You stop asking, why am I behind? And start asking, where is the world moving next? Because the people who ask that question early rarely stay stuck. Here is the truth nobody says clearly: you were not fully prepared for this speed, because no generation has experienced change at this pace. So give yourself more credit. You are navigating a structure that is rewriting itself in real time. And if life has felt unstable lately, that does not mean you are failing. It may mean your awareness is waking up. The truly dangerous position is pretending nothing. Change. History shows that resets create discomfort, but they also create opportunity. New paths open precisely because old ones weaken. So instead of obsessing over whether you are behind, focus on becoming hard to trap, hard to obsolete, and hard to outpace. Learn continuously, stay observant, move deliberately, and remember this: you are not late, you are early to understanding what is happening. Most people will not realize the game reset until years after it already did, and by then, adaptation becomes much harder. So do not panic, zoom out. The board changed, and once you see that, you stop playing emotionally and start playing intelligently. You are not falling behind, you are waking up, and awareness is always the first advantage.